Hello, ladies. Good afternoon or good evening. Oh my gosh, I had no idea it was 6 o'clock or a little after 6 already. I am heading into the office for one final appointment today. And I had a little bit of a break, so I came home and ate dinner with my family, and now I'm headed back for a 7 p.m. appointment. Hello. And I'm pulling away from the house, so it's going to in just a second, and then it will, there we go. All right, we're back. We're back. But I wanted to just jump on here real quick. My next appointment is at 7, but I just wanted to jump on real quick and talk with you all about this wonderful show that I am watching. This is season 2 on Netflix. It's called Indian Matchmaking. And when I tell you all, this show is like my obsession. Like, I am loving this show. I'm loving everything about matchmaking. I think it's amazing. I think it's something that we really need to get back to. Or how about this? Because it's probably not as popular here in the Western culture, but it's something we need to give a try. Because here's what statistics tell us. And you know how you all know how I love data and I love facts. So statistically, Indian marriages, I think their rate of failure is like 12%, something like that. 12% of Indian marriages fail. We're up to like 51%. So there's something to that. There's something there. I mean, there's lots of things to that. It's the culture as a whole. I think the culture as a whole is just, they're not going to divorce. They don't base marriage and relationships solely on love. There's so many differences there, but I believe we can learn from those differences. Okay, she says, I binge watched your YouTube videos last night. Thank you. They are too good and very helpful tips. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And if any of the rest of you have not been over to YouTube, head over to YouTube, to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. There's so much great free content there. Please check out the YouTube channel, okay? I appreciate y'all. So back to the Indian matchmaking. One of the things that I'm seeing in this season that frustrates me to no end, it frustrates me as a dating and relationship coach. And I thought about getting in the matchmaking space, actually. I've sincerely thought about it, and I'm going to really give it some thought before the end of the year if I want to return to like dating events, singles events, or if I want to give matchmaking a try. I'm seriously thinking about that. So one of the things that I think is so interesting, I got a call and it kicked me out, but anyway, I apologize. But I am sincerely thinking about becoming a matchmaker and getting trained in everything in how to do this. But I got to give it some really deep thought, because the other thing I was thinking of doing before the year ends is putting on more singles events in my area and in other areas. So I am going to just give that some deep, deep thought. I'm going to pray about that and just see. I'm going to see, if that's something that I should move into next. One of the things, though, that I find so interesting about this season is that there are a lot of masculinas, a lot of masculine women on this season. The women are like 30 plus, which I think is interesting, and that's kind of unusual for their culture. They usually get married much younger. So I'm a little surprised by that. And then also just the masculina attitude. So many of the women just, I don't like them. Like, I don't like them. I don't want to help them because I don't like them. They're just incredibly masculine, incredibly, they're not wife material. Sorry, and they're just sitting there talking about all their accomplishments and their work and this and that. They're not wife material. And there's a girl on there this season who, she was on there last season. And again, the truth of the matter is this girl is not wife material. She's not getting good. And the woman said that she matched her with like all these different men and, none of them stuck. But a lot of it's because she's not wife material. There's so many women this season that are just not wife material. And I'm really surprised by that because, like I said, these girls are in the Indian culture and they, churn out wives. They churn out mothers and wives. And I'm just really, really surprised by that. But here's some of the takeaways that I want to share with you all about this show because, like I said, I absolutely love this show. Thank you. Okay, been listening to your YouTube, IG, and podcast. Very knowledgeable. I needed it. Thank you so much. But one of the things that stood out to me is, and I'm going to give you all an assignment too. I've actually done the assignment myself. So I was like, okay, let me do this assignment, But I want you to try to narrow down your requirements in a partner, in a man, in a husband, right? I want you to try to narrow it down to 10 things. You only get 10 things, okay? 10 things on that paper. Then I want you to take away 3 of them. And the other 7 you get to keep. That's your guy, right? And one of the things that the lady, the matchmaker, they call her auntie, she keeps explaining to the girls over and over and over, you're not going to get 100%. You're not going to get everything on this list. You're going to get between 60 and 70%. And so some of them are like, what? 60 to 70%? I need to get 80%, 90%. So once again, it's proving the whole idea that women are not satisfied. Women don't know how to be content. Women don't know how to compromise. Women, they want it all. They want everything. And that holds us back. It really, really holds us back because I've said that to my clients. You're not going to get everything. Like, get that out of your head. You're not going to get everything. You're going to get, I was thinking 80%, but even 70%. Yeah, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to get everything on your list. So I did this assignment too. I narrowed it down to 10 things. And then I had to look and go back and look again. Like, it took a while for me to figure out what 3 things were going to come off of that list. Like, I really struggled. I was like, dang, what's going to come off of this list? But I did it. And it has kind of refocused my thoughts in my mind about my future husband. But we're not going to get everything we want. We're not. And here's what a lot of people, so here's the pushback. This is what a lot of people say as pushback. Well, Anita, it sounds like you want us to settle. That's what it sounds like. You want us to settle. No, I don't want you to settle, but I want you to prioritize, right? I want you to prioritize what's really important. If you can't get everything, then what's the main thing? What's the most important thing? That's what I want you to do. And for some reason, women don't seem to be able to do that. And let me stop and say, not all women, some women, right? Some women just don't seem to be able to do that. They can't prioritize. And it's the same with the whole, I want to be able to work full time and go climb up the ladder in my company. I want to be a mom of 2. I want to be married. I want to have this house, this car. I want to have this dog. I want to do all of these things and do them well. And I'm just like, girl, you have to prioritize. What's most important now? Focus on that. What's the next most important thing? Then you get to focus on that. What's the next most important thing? Then you get to focus on that. But the truth of the matter is, and I don't know why women don't want to hear this, you can't have it all at the same time. Okay? Just like in your job. I love my work. I'm a business owner. I work for myself. It don't get no better than that. I get to, in the middle of my day, go home, eat with my family, watch Indian matchmaking. It don't get no better than that. And come back into the office for this one appointment. I get to do what I want to do. Okay? And yet, there are still things about my work. There's still things about running my businesses that I hate, that I don't like. Because guess what? I can't have it all. I can't get everything. I cannot get everything. And to me, That's what makes you a grown-up, right? That's what makes you a grown-up, that you understand that. Like, you sound like a little kid. I just want it all. I just want it all. It's not fair. You know, you sound like a kid. When the reality is, if you're grown, if you're mature, if you're emotionally mature, you understand that you can't have it all. And you can't. So, we gotta learn this. We gotta get this. I think that more women will come closer to finding what they want and being happy and having the relationship that they want, you know, overall, and meeting those relationship goals, those family goals, if they just understood you cannot have it all at the same time. You have to prioritize. You have to prioritize. And y'all, I do not envy this modern day. I just don't. I'm so glad that I didn't have to come up in this, that I wasn't married and did this whole, you know, 50-50 and partnership, and we both work, and I'm so glad I didn't have to do that, because it's exhausting. Like, if I could be so honest, it's exhausting. It sounds exhausting. My clients are exhausted. They're coming into my office, and the wife is working full-time, the husband's working full-time, they're both trying to get somewhere in their career, and then the wife gets pregnant, or she's pregnant again, they have 2 kids, and it's just all this juggling and all this, who's going to take the kids to daycare, and who's going to pick them up, and who's going to start dinner, and who's going, it's, oh my God. And it makes my head swim. I kid you not. I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. So glad. But that's where we are. And it's like, man, it just makes me sad sometimes that, like I said, this is where we are. I don't think anybody's really happy. I don't think the husband is happy, the wife is happy, or the kids are happy in that scenario. But this is where we are. But yeah, it's a really interesting show. And like I said, this season in particular, you've got all these Indian masculina women who, you know, care about their education and their career and what they have. And then they're sitting there talking about, oh, you know, I'm getting older. I'd like to spend my life with someone. And then the whole time I'm just thinking, well, why didn't you prioritize that? Like, why didn't you prioritize, you know, meeting a man? Why didn't you prioritize being in a relationship? I just don't, I'm trying to understand what that's about. And here's the other thing that I think is so interesting, and I've had male friends of mine tell me this too. They say, Anita, the crazy thing about women is they can't chase their work goals and being in a relationship at the same time. And I was like, you know what? You may be onto something. Like, can I be honest? He may be onto something. We're really struggling with going to college and being in a relationship, and graduating and then getting a job and being in a relationship, or doing a fellowship or an internship and being, it's like we can't do 2 things at the same time. And that is really, really hurting us, because there's plenty of women out there who have big dreams and big goals, but what they do is they chase those first. They don't prioritize meeting someone. They don't prioritize family. You know, they just don't prioritize that. And then once they've gotten somewhere with those goals, then their biological clock starts, you know, going off, or they start looking around and everybody they know is married. Everybody they know has kids. And, oh, I wish I want that. I wish I had done that. And I'm just like, why didn't you prioritize that? Because God knows men do. Men be dating. My ex-husband and I got married when he was in medical school. Like, I kid you not. He was like, what that got to do with, you know, me having a woman? Like, all day long. Yeah, he was in medical school. He was like, that don't have nothing to do with me having a woman. And he had to pick the right woman, and he did. You know, he made a good choice in me. Me, not so much in him, but anyway, I digress. But yeah, we kind of suck at that. We suck at being able to do 2 things at once. I got to dig more into that. I got to figure out why that is. But he was onto something, because I have noticed that. Women chasing their goals and their dreams, but they're alone. So, and then here's what happens. This is what I find, this is the psychology of it that's so interesting. So they're chasing these goals and these dreams, and they're not prioritizing relationship with a man, they're not prioritizing marriage or family, but then once they get to the end of that goal or that dream, they feel so full of themselves because of that. Like, can I be honest? They're so full of themselves because now I'm a doctor, now I'm an attorney, now I have 3 degrees, now I'm a business owner, and now they can't be with just anybody. They can't be with just any man. And I'm just like, man, I see it. I see it, y'all. So all kind of problems because of this. So I try to focus on solutions. I try to figure out what the solutions are. But y'all, it's something. It's something. Let me know if you watch Indian Matchmaking. If you don't, I would love it if you would check it out. Give me your thoughts about it. But I love shows like this because the lady, she's older. She's probably older than me even. And she has so much wisdom. She has so much wisdom to impart. She herself has been married for like 30 years. And she's a wise woman. And these younger women don't listen. They don't listen to her. One of them started dating this guy who was like 7 years younger. And the lady told her, like, not him. He's not the one. He's not a good match. He's 7 years younger. Like, she told her. That's a huge no-no. And she went against what she said, dated this guy. And then maybe 2 months in, the guy was like, oh, you know, I don't think we want the same thing. I really didn't feel a connection with you. Like, he broke up with her. So the matchmaker lady, she saw it coming. I saw it coming. But they don't listen. They don't listen. So, y'all, there's so many lessons to take away from that show. But what I want to tell to younger women, if you stumble across this channel for some reason, if you are between the age of 20 and 30, please prioritize relationship, prioritize marriage, prioritize a family. And I'm not saying you have to have a family at 20, but I want you to be thinking about it. Thinking about, okay, I have these other goals, but do I want to be a mother? Do I want to have children of my own? Do I want to adopt? You know, do I want to be married? Like, start thinking about that, because one of the things that I am seeing with lots of women that I counsel or that I coach, they're not even thinking about it until 32, 33, 35. You're at the tail end of your optimal fertility window. And I'm not telling you that as a scare tactic. It's a fact. Like, go and look it up. So we have to prioritize marriage, family, if that's what we want to do. We cannot wait until we're 35. That's just not smart. That's just not. And then so here's the other side of that coin. There are women out there who are prioritizing relationship. They do want to get married, but they're wasting so much time with the wrong men. Like, they're dating the artist, they're dating the musician, they're dating the guy who doesn't have his life together. Like, they're dating his potential, you know, and they waste all their good years. And then when it finally dawns on them, man, this is not going to go well. This guy either is not going to marry me or he's not a good prospect for marriage. By that time, they're 32. They're 32, 33, 35. And so, yeah, they feel some kind of way about having to start over. But here's what I say. Don't start over. Start right. Like, start right. Start out right from the beginning. So in your 20s, again, prioritize healthy relationship. Prioritize marriage. Prioritize dating men who are good marriage potential, you know, marriage mates. That's what I don't understand. Don't date these guys that if they're not a good husband, like, and this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to say it. If you're 25 and you're dating a man who would not make a good husband right then and there, like, no. He has to have some of the qualities of a husband. And you should have qualities of a wife. Because anything else is a whole lot of wasted time. A whole lot. And y'all, when I was like 26, 27, that's when I started to prioritize marriage. That's when I said, you know what? I got to start thinking about this. And I started cutting off these dudes that were still in school at that age, didn't have no good job, didn't have no car, lived at home, were not good with their money. I started cutting off all of them, man. I was like, nope, wouldn't make a good husband. Nope, can't take care of me, can't take care of my kids. Nope. You got to do that. And I don't care what your heart say. Some of y'all are so tied to, oh, but I love him, girl. Oh, but this, oh, but that. Love is not enough. Y'all, when I tell you, I see thousands of couples a year. And when they hear me say, love is not enough, a person loving you and you loving them, like, okay, that's wonderful. To me, that's a side effect. Love is a side effect of being treated well, of being treated with respect, of a person being responsible, of compatibility, of having a healthy connection, having good communication and conflict resolution. Like when you have those things, love is a side effect. It will come. Like love will come out of those things. Oh my gosh. I am talked to like you got sense. I am treated like a person. Like, yes, love will come out of that. But those are the things I prioritize. I prioritize those things, not, oh, we got to love each other. It's got to be this romantic love. Like, no. But y'all, I've been through it. I've seen it myself. I'm saying this because I'm on the other side. I've seen it myself. And yeah, I've loved a lot of men in my life, and I'm not with any of them. You know, those men, for varying reasons, they would not have made good husbands. They didn't want to commit. You know, it's so many reasons. And that's when I said, you know what? Okay, let me look at some other things. Let me look at some other criteria, because this whole, I gotta feel tingly and love you. That's just not doing it. That's not doing it. And that's not going to create a life partnership, right? So it's one thing to have a love story. It's another thing to have a life story. And I'm looking for the life story at this point. So y'all, if you have not checked out Indian Matchmaking on Netflix, I love that show. It's a very interesting show. There are a lot of great lessons on that show. A lot of lessons that you can learn from that show about women who, like I said, they want it all, and they want it all at the same time. And I'm like, and she's trying to tell him, like, nope, you make a list of 10 things, you take off 7, like, that's, I can get you that. And some of the matches are great, but the women are just, no, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, I didn't like the way he said this or did that. I'm like, what? Oh man, yeah. And I don't know if these Indian women have been westernized. That's what I think it is, if I can be honest. I think some of these women have been westernized. And once that happens, I hate to admit this, but, you know, a lot of women get ruined. You know, they get ruined. And there's this new trend going around. It's called passport brothers, or men are going to other countries to find wives. They're going to other countries to find women and, you know, long-term girlfriends and wives. That's like a thing. They're making YouTube videos about it. And I understand the psychology behind it for sure. But here's the bad news. This is what those men don't realize. If they're from the States and they go to another country and get a wife, if they plan on coming back here, eventually she will be westernized. So whatever it is you found, you're not going to keep very long, you know, because the propaganda here is strong. Like the messages that we receive, the propaganda, the agenda that we have, it's strong. It has broken the strongest person down, because Westerners will have you, you know, questioning everything. Your up will be down. So I've even told some of those men, like, okay, you might not want to bring her back here. You know, you might want to live there. You might want to make a life there, because if she start watching television, if she, you know, start talking to Western women, he gonna have a problem. So, All right, ladies, I am headed into my appointment. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Remember, you're going over to YouTube. You're checking out the YouTube channel. You are subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. And I will see you all next time. As always, stay open to love.